Roll call and verification. Vice Chair Morissette.
Chair McClellan.
Present.
Present. President Greenaway.
Here.
Vice President Smith.
Present.
Comptroller Kane.
Present.
Speaker Holmes.
Present.
FAO Chair Butler.
Present.
CRT Chair Samello.
Present.
ORS Chair Borges.
Here.
GAP Chair Temple.
Present.
LGR Chair Yalamajili.
Present.
Vice Chair Kringle.
Present.
Vice Chair Hall.
Here.
Senator at Large Foster.
Present.
Student at Large Brawley.
Here.
And Senator Duke.
Present.
60 out of 16 quorum is verified.
Thank you. So last meeting, as you all know, was not technically an official meeting. We just, I was just updating everybody on what happened. So there is no need for approval of last meeting's minutes, seeing as there really are none. Approval of today's agenda. Is there a motion? Temple.
Move to approve today's agenda.
There's been a motion to approve today's agenda. Are there any objections? Seeing none, it stands approved. Announcements from the chair. So I'm going to take this beginning to just update everybody from the last time that we did meet. I know not all of us were present, but also a lot has changed. So let's go and start with basics for how today is also going to work. Let's just start with that. We're going to go and see each entity. The agenda is in committee resources in the teams. We're going to start with the business office after I'm done with this explanation in the beginning. And how it's going to work is we're going to have speeches, questioning, and debate just to make sure that we have some kind of structure and things are going right. But we're going to have enough time for a presentation. So I'm going to recommend at least 10 minutes for a motion for that. But then we're going to have the entity come up and present. And then we'll have time to ask questions about the presentation, what's going on. And then we're going to talk about once we enter to debate, we're not going to be talking about whether we're for it or not. We're going to be talking about specific things that we see with the presentation, because pretty much what it looks like for this year. And as you all are well aware, OPS is going up. Salaries is going up, so departments that have professional staff are going to have to go up, and then the union and rec center have their utilities costs. But then, depending on the agency, they may be requesting more from last year. In the budget doc, you'll be able to see there's a percentage for if they are requesting more aside from that, and then just stuff about that. You have all the past 3 years, the request for what people are requesting for this year, and then in the committee, if you open up the budget committee fiscal bill Excel sheet in the teams as well. But we're not going to vote afterwards. We're not voting to approve after debate. We're going to take motions to move on to the next entity, because what we're going to do is we're just going to look at each entity, amend a few things, and move on to the next one. And we're only going to be voting for approval at the very end when we have our recommendation that we are going to put forward to the Senate. That's when we're going to vote to approve, so that we have the time to be able to go back and edit things between entities. Because how it's going to work is if we so wish to move money at all, it is going to be a moving of money. It's going to be taking from one place and putting it into another. So that may be across entities. If you are going to make a motion for somebody to speak, if it's like an entity or something that we're not currently seeing, you can make that motion to move to the next entity, motion to go back to looking at other entities. Things like that are going to be typical motions, if not questions or such. Out in front of you with the microphones, make sure you are using the microphones. And then that's also how voting is going to be, because when we do move money, that is going to be a vote. That's not going to be a vote for approval, but that's going to be whether or not we as a committee are going to approve the moving of money. So those were going to be in the form of amendments and in the such. So I believe that's kind of basics. Whenever we're referencing lines as well in the budget Excel sheet, do not look at the Excel lines on the far left. Look at the column A, the lines that are in the table. Those are going to be references. So for example, homecomings operations is line 30, not 32. If you see that. And if there's numbers on the outside that you see, those are not official. Like for example, if you look next to the Senate approval in column I put year over year dollar change just for good reference. That's not official at the end of everything. I'm going to delete that, but I just put that for reference. You can't edit the doc, so don't worry about that, but please keep this doc open. I recommend throughout the budget hearings that you have the budget bill Excel open, the budget packet for the entity that we are speaking about, and keep an eye on the presentation because those are going to be the key resources. Also the budget plans in the committee resources that we've been using all throughout the semester so far. That is also useful. Comptroller Kane and myself worked on making sure that it looks a little bit better and figuring out what visually was the best for looking at it. I see a number of you are currently on it. So if you go to the OPS from packets, this is the OPS and the salary increases, the difference from last year to this upcoming year's bill, and then the percentage change. Budget calculations, that one as well. Sheet 1 and 2 are the old sheets, so do not pay much mind to those. For OPS, we recalculated it, and it's a little bit, if you look at it, it's a little bit more than what we had thought. So it's going to be a little under $300,000 for 1 year of OPS increases. Over 2 years, that's $586,000. Comptroller Kane and myself were discussing the possibility, and right now, if you look in the budget bill, the amount under the business office is reflecting of 2 years of this. So 586,000 is added onto that. Specific projects are in our budget line, but we were discussing the possibility of only funding for 1 year. So only putting 293, so cutting it by 293,000, because that would save us. And that is something that we're going to talk about. The first entity we have is going to be the business office. So we'll be able to talk about how we're going to do this for when we get to that entity. Also, if you look at the bottom of the budget bill Excel document, everybody, you will see non-recurring expenses. That's going to be a new category. It's right underneath volunteer UCF. And that is where we're going to be. And this is how we're going to be doing the budget stabilization account that we have, R&R through non-recurring, and also the one-time expenses. The thing about the non-recurring is that since it's not something that was like, there's no budget packet put forward, this is purely under committee control, and we can do whatever. I've adjusted it already a little bit to be what we were speaking about. And we have a one-time, the non-recurring discussion later, and we can honestly maybe have the reserve accounts and budget stabilization discussion perhaps in the budget committee's time slot as well, because I know that this packet, like it's really just $60 more, so that wasn't be quick. We can take that the rest of that time slot to discuss this further, but then at the end of today, one-time expenses, because a majority of it is going to be through the departments requesting one-time expenses. So any questions so far with anything that I've said? Any places update? And then Comptroller Kane as well, if I've missed anything in my kind of updates, if you have anything to add. I know we were working last week.
Yeah, pretty much what I'll say is effectively this year, since we had an increase, there was definitely an increase in requests. What should be noted is our total increase in requests is over $1 million. And we had an increase in our budget of around $600,000. If we do 1 year of OPS funding, like we talked about, we're looking at basically not accepting $400,000 of the requested increases. So that's something for all the entities to take in mind. And obviously we're gonna be asking, what areas of these increases can we reduce, what other areas can we take away from, so that we can reach that balanced budget, because right now we have to find at least $400,000 freed up. So that's going to be my priority and should definitely be something the committee is emphasizing throughout.
Mhm. So I believe I have nothing really more to specifically update. I believe everything else is going to be pretty much when we're in specific entities. So with that, we will move on to announcements from the vice chair. We have none. We'll do announcements from committee members. Samilo.
All right. Last meeting we talked about doing a little basic question thing. So there is a link in here to a little sheet that I made with just some questions that you guys could ask if you're stuck on what you might want to ask. They're basic, so I wouldn't try to ask to be in depth, but just surface level questions to kind of get a feel for where they're at and things like that. It's also linked in the 2024-25 A&SF budget committee. When you click on it, there's image, and you can just click there and it'll open it as well.
Is that in committee resources? Oh, I see it. It is now in committee resource. Oh, failed to verify the existence of Were you doing it at the same time? Okay. Well, it's moved. So it can be found in committee resources. Okay. So with that, are there any other committee members wishing to have announcements? Seeing none, do we have any announcements from non-committee members?
Good morning, everybody. Kerry Welch, Associate Vice President for Student Success and Wellbeing, and I'll be brief. I just want to say thank you. It is with sincere gratitude that we as a university appreciate the time you're spending on this very significant task. Using your discretionary time, your peers are sleeping right now or whatever else they might be doing, and you're here doing this. So it's an important task, and we are very grateful that you take it on and that you take it seriously as you have, and the time you've already committed, and the next few days. So, and after that, the next couple of months, ironing it all out. It's a bit stressful, but I know you're up to the task. You always are. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other announcements from non-committee members? Brody.
I was just gonna take a second. Ryan and I worked on, some of what the team's organization looks like as far as files and where the budget packets and all those things are. I just want to take a second to make sure everybody can find everything you need. If anybody has any questions about where something might be or questions about how anything is set up.
Yeah, to go off, does anybody have any issues pulling up all of the documents or moving between? Everybody's able to have and look at everything? Okay, good. Because that's going to be very important, referencing everything. So, excuse me. Any more non-committee announcements? Alrighty, seeing none, we're going to be at new business. Before we begin for all of the entities, and we're just going to be, as you see, if you have the budget hearing agenda, there is a budget hearing agenda. The only minutes that are going to be taken down are going to be amendments, what that amendment is, moving money or reducing or increasing certain lines and things of that nature under each entity, and it is in order. But before we do that, are there motions for speeches, questioning, and debate? Temple.
Move for 10-minute speeches, 10-minute questioning, 10-minute debate.
There is a motion for 10-minute speeches, 10-minute questioning, and 10-minute debate. Are there any? Greenway?
I was going to say 15-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, unlimited debate.
Okay, so that's going to be the motion now. 15-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, unlimited debate. Are there any objections to that new motion? Okay, seeing none, we are going to get into it. First up is the Activity and Service Fee Business Office. Now, with this specific entity, Dr. Posey has 2 budget packets and 2 presentations. And I believe is Ticket Center first. So if you go into submitted under budget packets and departments, you'll see a TC and a BO. So you should be able to go and open up the Ticket Center budget packet first. And let me get timer set for 10 minutes. 15. You were completely right.
Good morning, everyone.
Is that on? You see the green light?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. And bear with me because I'm losing my voice today. As Brian mentioned today, I'll be doing 2 presentations. The first is for the Ticket Center, and following that, I will be doing the business office. This particular presentation, it's going to be short, but there are a few things that has changed that should be included in the Ticket Center budget moving forward. After the Ticket Center PowerPoint, I'll move to the business office. Sorry about that. First of all, I wanted to just go over the structure of the Ticket Center, the purpose of the center, the employees who work there, the service that the center provides, and the reason for the change in the budget request. This will be followed by, as you mentioned, questions. The mission or the purpose of the Ticket Center is to offer tickets into various, sorry about that, is to offer tickets to various Central Florida attractions, theme parks, and movie theaters. Tickets are intended for the use of UCF students, staff, faculty, and alumni. The terms of the supplier's agreement determines if the tickets are only for the students or if it's for all of the UCF community. The Ticket Center provides a positive impact on UCF community with the resale of local attraction admission tickets at discounted prices. The Ticket Center employees are 6 sales representatives who work there. Effective July 1, 2023, the sales representatives were moved from the business office to the Ticket Center to ensure that the OPS are paid from the unit where they work. This is to better account for the employees in the area that they work in. The salary funding source will continue to be A&SF fees. The Ticket Center offers discounted admission tickets for the UCF community to reduce costs for staff and students. There are currently 14 suppliers, 13 are in Orlando, and 1 is in Tampa. There are 20 different types of tickets. And we also now have a new supplier, which is H2O Water Park, and that will be added, making it 15 suppliers. Those tickets we hope will be available soon. Each spring, during the spring semester, SG Spring event of Universal Nights, a limited number of guest tickets are also sold for students who wish to buy a guest ticket or an additional ticket. There were 1,773 guest tickets sold for this event this past spring. The specially priced admission tickets provide an estimated savings of $1.2 million during the past 12 months for the UCF community. The savings may be more since Disney's ticket prices vary each day, and the estimate that I used was just for one specific day. The Ticket Center itself is self-sustaining with ticket purchases, and the center provides a unique service for UCF community. The auxiliary funds earned for the ticket sales are used to purchase tickets to restock the inventory. The projected cost for the tickets for fiscal year 25 is $2.8 million. This is an increase of $100,000 or 3.57%. The amount increased due to the increase in the ticket sales, and there's an increase in the cost of purchasing tickets due to supplier increasing ticket prices. The projected revenue for fiscal year 25 is also $2.8 million. During the past 12 months, 34,131 tickets to attractions were sold, and that was as of November 20th. Some of the most popular tickets that were sold during the last 12 months there was 5,656 Disney tickets sold since they were restocked in August. There were 10,800 Universal tickets sold, 5,423 Kennedy Space Center, 4,178 SeaWorld Busch Garden Aquatica, and 3,441 Regal tickets. Those are just the most popular. All of the tickets sell really fast. There are limits to the number of tickets that may be purchased during a specific window of time for the attractions. The number of tickets that may be purchased is determined by the supplier. For example, Congo River, you can purchase 6 tickets every 30 days. Disney, you can purchase 10 tickets every 90 days. Universal, you can purchase 2 every 30 days. And SeaWorld, you can purchase 4 tickets every 30 days. To ensure that we are following university guidelines of accountability and transparency, if there are any purchases made, it must be clear the area of the unit that the purchase is for. Beginning fiscal year 24, the ticket center expenses and revenue were entered into Workday under the ticket center cost center and not the business office. Previously, only the ticket expenses and the revenue were entered for the ticket center. All of the other expenses were included in the business office operations. Fiscal year 25 budget request will include the other operating expenses. Oh, I need to go back. Red to go back? Okay, thanks. Those operating expenses are Counterpoint. This is the software that
All right, motion for 5-minute or 10-minute recess. Okay, awesome.